Hello, I am Star, a Sky Children of the Light YouTuber. This is my first time playing on this Minecraft server called Origin Realms. I have heard that the developers have recently released an update focused on improving the new player experience for this server. I figured that this would be the perfect time to play the server for the first time ever. So I quickly teleported to the resource world to begin my Origin Realms journey. Now, everybody knows that the first thing you do in Minecraft is chop down a tree. Strangely though, the moment I picked up the log, this strange robot called Orbit showed up on my screen and started telling me that I could craft oak wood. I completely ignored this Orbit and make oak planks instead. Once again, Orbit showed up, telling me that the most optimal path to progress in this server is to create oak fences. Once more, Orbit would be ignored as I chopped down the rest of the tree. After this, I created my first crafting table. I placed it down to craft a wooden pickaxe. Orbit congratulated me on crafting a stick and told me how they could be used to craft the wondrous birch fence gate. What is this robot's obsession with fences? I dug a small hole to gather some quick cobblestone, using the stone to craft a stone pickaxe. Now, everybody knows that digging straight down is a wonderful idea that never ends up going wrong, so that is what I ended up doing. I ended up digging straight into a cave, at which point I realized my great mistake. I had forgotten to collect food above, which meant that any damage I now took was permanent. Luckily, one of the creepers blew up the rest of the pursuers, so I was able to swoop in and collect all of the drops. Orbit then suggested that I craft explosives. Luckily though, there were a bunch of ores in this cave, so I set about to mine in. Now that I had full iron armor, I decided to take a break for the day. So, I did some off-camera grinding and managed to get myself better armor, weapons, and some food. So now I'm fully equipped to take on the spirit spire all by myself. I opened the door and the boss battle began as the marauder leaped onto his horse. The marauder immediately started attacking, charging at me with all his might. I was still rather nervous as this was my first time fighting the marauder, but I kept pressing the offensive and attacking. I quickly got used to his attack patterns, discovering when to dodge and when to go in for attacks. As this continued, I slowly began to whittle down his health bit by bit, attack by attack. Was this really the dreaded final boss of this server? This almost felt too easy, but at half health, the marauder flew away. Hey, that's not fair. You can't run away from me. I was forced to wait this attack out as I didn't have a bow, but it gave me an opportunity to heal up the very little damage I had taken. The marauder finally returned to the ground. That would be his fatal mistake. I continued to swim my sword, going in for more and more crits and getting increasingly reckless. It was so close, victory was in sight. It's done! I did it! I defeated the Marauder. But before I knew, he got back up. He yanked out the spine of his faithful steed to use as a staff. I wasn't prepared for this. But that wasn't the end. I had miraculously returned. How? But then I realized it was the fence that I had crafted all along. Orbit was right all along. The fences were the best way to beat this game. The best defense was a fence, and the best offense was also a fence. The moment I had an opening to attack, I pulled out the fence from the depths of my inventory and with a single strike felled the Marauder. Walking into the beam of light, I claimed my reward for a battle well fought. After all of this, there's only one question I have that hasn't been answered. How do I pick my origin?